Get you more breaking updates right now on this story. You would recall the claims that were earlier being made by the AIMIM chief that the police chowki that was being built outside the Shahi Jama Masjid is on the Waqf land. Now, Today Times now has been able to access evidence that completely debunks those claims in black and white. Now, there have been counters issued earlier by the Sambhal district administration, but now we have an affidavit that hits the nail on its head. Now, this affidavit has been filed by a man called Muhammad Khalid, a person who's been taking care of this land in question earlier. And in this particular document, he's categorically stated that this land neither belongs to him nor is it any kind of Waqf property. We'll take you through the main highlights that will be up on your screens also in just a moment. We'll also get in our colleague Pradeep, who's been able to get those details for us, and he's joining us live right now. Pradeep, what is it that this affidavit tells us? Is there any response now that have come in from leaders like Assaduddin Owaisi who are out there playing politics?
Yes, Deep, you are absolutely right. It was a few days back, Assaduddin Owaisi had put some papers on social media. He was claiming that why the police post is being constructed on a Waqf land. He said this land was opposite Jama Masjid, and as per norm, this should not have been done. But now the family has filed an affidavit. The family that had been taking care of this land, they said that we had been taking care of this land, but the moment we came to know this was Sarkari Zameen, that was a government land. So what they have submitted an affidavit to the administration, making it clear, neither this is their property nor this is a Waqf land. So this is clearly indicator that this is a government property and government can do whatever they want to, because this land had been lying barren and unutilized for the last several years. And so finally the government felt that there was a need to have a police post, because what really happened on November 24 should not be repeated again. That was the time when the survey was being conducted inside Jama Masjid Mosque, when some people came out, they started pelting stone. There was a firing from within the mosque, because of which 4 precious lives were lost and many others were critically injured, which included even police personnel. But since then we have seen that certain people, they are trying to play politics. But now I think Owaisi should look at these papers. Let's see what will be his response in this regard. But one thing is quite clear, that all lies have been nailed by this affidavit, and already family members have spoken about this thing, that this is not their land, this is a Waqf land. So what the government is saying, that is absolutely clear, that this was their property. So however, whatever way they really want to utilize it, it is their prerogative, and they have done exactly the same, keeping in view the tense atmosphere in the region. They wanted to make the security apparatus more robust. They wanted to ensure that there is no problem in future, there is no violence, because there are certain elements who want to create a situation that had happened, what really happened in 1978, when more than 100 people had lost their lives, and because of which several Hindus had to flee from their homes. So they do not want such a situation to be repeated, and that's one of the reasons that the administration has now come out with the police post, and already its construction is almost over and it will start functioning very shortly.
Okay, Pradeep, allow me a moment. We also have our colleague Priya joining us, and she will on the big screen help us understand the details of this affidavit. What really are the big news points, Priya?
Right, Dipti. This is the affidavit that has been accessed by my colleague exclusively. Pradeep Datta has got these documents for us that put an end to all the fakery, all the claims that are being made by certain people around the land on which police chowki is being made next to the Sambhal Shahi Jama Masjid. This is the man, the picture is here. He is the man who has filed this affidavit. His name is Muhammad Khalid, and in his affidavit that has been filed on the 6th of January 2025, he says that his family, his ancestors were the ones who were taking care of this land where this police chowki is coming up. But as soon as they were made aware of the fact, and this happened earlier in the previous generations, as soon as they were made aware of the fact that this land belongs to the government, they gave up their claims of that land. He further goes on to say in this affidavit that while the land was being taken care of by my ancestors, इस जमीन से मेरा या मेरे परिवार का अब कोई लेना देना नहीं है. ये सरकार की जमीन है जो सार्वजनिक कार्य के लिए खाली थी. It was a government property. It was vacated. It was empty because it was meant for public use. Then he says that now I have got to know that there is a police chowki that is being constructed on this piece of land, and I am happy about it because this is for the safety and security of me, my family, and others living in this area. He further goes on to say, me and my family do not stake claim on this land right now, nor are we going to have any sort of claim on this property in future. He says that nobody else can also stake claim to this property because it was he and his family, his ancestors, who were taking care of this piece of land. Then he says, ये हमारी निजी मिल्कियत नहीं है. And most importantly, before I toss it back to you, he says, ये भूमि पहले वक्फ की संपत्ति नहीं थी. This land was never under the possession of Waqf board. That is the man who is in fact in charge of this property, who's been taking care of this property, has to say. One really wonders, what will Asaduddin Owaisi say now?
Yes. Priya, for the moment, thank you. We also have breaking responses that have come in both from the Samajwadi Party and the BJP.